Okay, here's a video. I'm having some issues with my ignition bypass switch system that I bought up, and so I thought I'd video it to make it maybe a little bit more easier for the maker to troubleshoot. For right now, I've got everything unplugged and I have things set to the stock position. The caveat and the area of uncertainty is that for whatever reason my clutch safety switch just went haywire on me at exactly the same time, and so I had to jumper that, which might be causing the issues and it might not, I don't know. But with the things in the stock position, with all the stock plugs in, I can start the bike with the switch and the bike will fire up and run right away. When I switch these things around and I plug in the harness that I got, you can't screw it up. The maker does a really good job of making sure that there's only one way that you can plug this bad boy in. Here's the rest of it, the switch bypass. So we'll plug that in and I'll show you what happens with that. Here's the switch that I'm using. It is a double pull single throw, and I did continuity checks on both ends of the wires with my little tester here, just to make sure that my wires were good and that I had them plugged into the right sections of his harness up here, because it doesn't work the other way. I figured that one out. So I'm going to swap these things around real quick and we will fire it back up. Okay, so we've plugged the unit in there and there and there. Okay, so now with my toggle switch off, that's totally turned off. If I use the key, all my lights come on. The bike starts. If I flip the toggle switch down there, it kills it instantly. I still have my power up here. The difference is that my cruise control set has come on, and that has killed the bike instantly. Now if I don't use that switch, see, this is where I think maybe my clutch switch is screwing me, I don't know. If I just turn that on, bike starts, switch off. As soon as I turn my cruise control on, it kills the bike. Now, if I turn the switch on, there's the switch on. I now have power. No cruise control here. The bike will turn over all day long, but it never will fire. Okay, so it's like it's not getting power to the ignition or something. If I turn the switch on, if I have both switches on, I have nothing. So, turn everything back off. That switch is off, that switch is off. If I just turn the switch on down there, leave this one off, that switch is on, nothing. If I turn this switch on, I hit the starter button, I get nothing. But then again, I still have that. So it's a little bit of a not good issue I'm having. And like I said, I don't know if it has anything to do with having to jumper this. I'm waiting on a new switch for here. That just magically went bad at the same time I was messing around with this stuff, as far as I can tell. But if I leave that switch off, turn that on, and so I'm not sure how I'm able to start the bike using the key if I have this switch off. I thought that was the whole point of using this switch, was to run the juice around the starter, and so I would need to flip that switch. Maybe I don't understand it correctly. But with that switch off, I can use the key as normal with this system all plugged in, using all of these connections. So I'm thinking that something is a little screwy here somewhere, and hopefully someone can set me on the right direction. Because I would like to not have to use my key, because my key switch is screwy. That's why I bought this whole thing, is it can be a little finicky when you're trying to turn it on. Okay, that'll do it for now.